Well, yes, my name is Chief Dr. Bassey Edem. I am from Cross River State, but I've been born and bred in Lagos. Spent the first 28 years of my life in Lagos. I presently a retired accountant, but serving in some few boards that keeps me going. I'm a Lion. I'm currently a past area leader and group leader of the Lions Club International. Well, I qualified as an accountant in 1974 and then took up a job with Unilever in the UK. And Unilever in the UK transferred me to their main company in Nigeria, which is UAC of Nigeria Limited, PLC then. And then I worked with UAC as an internal auditor for about 2 years. Then I was promoted to be the group manager, the internal group audit group manager for about 4 years. Then during the time of Shonekon as the chairman, executive chairman of UAC, I was transferred to Calabar as commercial director of the subsidiary company in Calabar. Deals with oil palm and rubber plantation. So I moved in there as the commercial director for about 2 years. Then I was appointed the managing director of the company, where I served for about 20 years as managing director before retiring in 2005. Since my retirement, just before my retirement, I bought a factory, a plastic producing factory, which I am running now. And since my retirement, all I do is to be in my factory, or I happen to serve in few boards. During the period, I became the president of Nigerian Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, the 18th president. That's about 10 years ago. And I served for 2 years. And during the period, that exposed me to most of the government boards, because I served in about 4 or 5 government boards. And then since leaving that position, I've continued to be an honorary life vice president of NACIMA, which means that I'm still at the presidency of NACIMA. Well, all the positions I've held has been issue of leadership. And because of the type of trainings I've received right from Unilever, UAC, Palmol, and even within the NACIMA, I'd gone to various trainings on leadership, and that exposed me a lot to my leadership development. And then even joining the Lions Club, that also gives me a wider perspective to be able to practice my leadership skills, because there are a lot of trainings that Lions carry out, Lions International carry out. And I think I've been able to attend all the trainings that Lions Club has carried out. And within the period, I've also grown to become a trainer myself. So the leadership qualities helped me in my training of younger Lions. Yeah, as I became Lions Club International district governor for District 404 then. It was only Nigeria, the Lions Club in Nigeria was only one district at that time. And it's 1994-95. Just immediately after H.O.B. Lawal, I was his vice district governor. So I took over from him. And one of the challenges we had at that time was the issue of having to, expand Lions Club. Lions Club was mostly in Lagos. So very few Lions Club were outside Lagos. So me coming from outside Lagos, because I came in from Calabar, Kenyan City Lions Club, to become district governor. So we had to now move around to set up more clubs outside Lagos. One of the projects that touches my heart in my year was the motherless babies home we set up in Lekki. It was during my time that was set up. It was actually set up by a club, but we took it up as a district to expand it And I had some very good people who assisted me then. People like AVM Okwere and Nlcf, who I set up a committee, and they were that members of this committee, and they were able to set up that project very well. So I feel very proud every time I see that project. We also set up the accident clinic, Shagamu. If you go towards Shagamu, there's an accident clinic there, which we handed over to the road safety because of a lot of traffic accidents that was going on around that Lagos-Ibadan expressway. You know, those things I feel very proud seeing them happening. You know, presently now we now concentrate on our core projects, which are issues to do with diabetes, issues to do with eye, you know, and a lot of projects are carried out in various hospitals that has to do with eye clinic. Like in my club, we actually built an eye theater in Calabar. A lot of people from the whole East go to the Calabar General Hospital for their eye operation, eye clinic. But they use the same theater they use for other illnesses to do the eye clinic, and it causes a lot of problems. So we try to build an eye clinic. So each time I go to General Hospital and see people moving into the eye clinic and coming out, I feel proud that Lions Club has actually assisted in making sure that people get the right atmosphere to be treated. Lions Club International has code of ethics, and every member of Lions Club is supposed to at least imbibe part of that code of ethics, and that has really helped me to follow up the issue of the code of ethics. Already guided me in my approach to a lot of my activities, and so in issue of governance, it has helped me also when I carry out services. I remember that I have to do things according to the Lions ethics. For instance, when you are going to carry a service, you know that those services are kind of selfless service. You're not supposed to receive any reward for those services. You're supposed to do it such that it benefits the community. And so government cannot do everything. So you find that within your community, you have to do some community services that help the community to grow. And when you look at the number of Lions Club in Nigeria, suddenly we became a multiple district, starting from 1 district to becoming 2 districts, to becoming 3 districts, to becoming 4 districts, now 6 districts. Each of those districts operate in different communities. And so as a leader, right from being district governor to being a past area leader, I have been involved in the training, development, and most of the services that are carried out in all the districts. So that helps also maintain my governance skills, that things have to be done according to the way Lions Club International has set up in its ethics and objective. I wouldn't say it's a huge tax. I think it depends on what we mean by befitting secretariat. Because what happened in my time as district governor is that each district governor, because district governors don't come from one particular place. For instance, the district governor before me, H.O.B. Lawal, came from Ikorodu. So he needed a place that is close to him in Ikorodu. I came from Calabar. So I needed a place that is close to me in Calabar. So I had a secretariat in Calabar. I built secretariat in Calabar where I used. But you see, the point is that each time district governor moves and the secretariat moves, it becomes a problem. So we decided now to set up one secretariat. But we didn't have a property. In fact, Lions Club was not registered under the Land Perpetuity Act at that time. We are still operating under the Lions Club International rules. So we couldn't own property of our own. So what we then did was to hire a place in Alagomeji, where we operated. Initially, it was befitting, it was good enough for us. But as we started growing into districts, 1 district it was okay. When it became 2 districts, it became a problem. And so as we keep growing, you find that it became inadequate for us to be able to operate there. But then we now thought that we needed to build one secretariat of its own. The problem was then that people were argument as to we're Lions Club in the West, we have Lions Club in the East, we have Lions Club in the South, we have Lions Club, where we will build it. We had a small land in Lagos here. We tried to develop that land, but you see, people outside Lagos were not very keen, knowing that Lagos was also congested. Fortunately, we got a land in Abuja. And we said, okay, you don't just go and build one secretariat only. let's build an eye clinic, an eye hospital, and then incorporate our own secretariat in that hospital. That's what we're doing now. And I hope that within the next few years, 1 or 2 years, we should be able to operate there effectively. By this time, Lions Club has spread to other parts of the countries, and we also begin to build up leaders in those parts of the countries. Fortunately, we had somebody from Edo State, then it was called Bendel State, who became a district governor around 2003 and 2092, 93, thereabout, or 1994. He became a district governor. And he happened to be from Edo State, from then Bendel State. So during that period, somebody who was one Odufoye, who was elected as the second vice district governor, we used to call it lieutenant governor then, was disqualified by Lions Club International after we have elected him as, vice district governor. So because of that, that position became vacant. So he needed to be filled. All right? Well, there are people who are lining up to fill the position. But the district governor at that time went to pay a courtesy call on the Oba of Benin. All right? And naturally, as district governor, he announced at that palace that a son from the then Bendel, was going to take over as district governor. Unfortunately, the person he was mentioning was junior to a lot of people. And in Lions Club, for you to take up position of vice district governor, you got to go by election. So when election was conducted, naturally the person did not pass through. I think HOB got the election. So they felt bad. People from that area, from Edo and Delta, then Bendel State, felt bad that their son could not get that position. But it was an election. He didn't get the election. It didn't go through. So the crisis came up. They decided to pull out. Well, it was a lesson learned, because between that period, we decided to streamline things. I was able to streamline things to make sure that before you even get to become a district governor, you have to pass through certain positions. And that helped a lot. And during the period, they also came back when things were streamlined. So what we've learned from that is that, and that is what has helped us today, that Lionism is how to look. When you want to talk about leaders, there are leaders all over the country. You don't have to concentrate leadership in one particular part of the state, part of the country. That's what Nigeria is fighting today, having problem today, because we concentrate leadership in one particular part of the country, and that leadership thinks about only his own people. All right, that's why we're happy that in Lions Club we have gone beyond that. That wherever we find district governors, he spreads his opposition, he spreads his cabinet to cover the whole area he is covering. It's difficult because people like to become lions. People like to join the club. But you find that to join the club, you got to give it your time, your resources, and your energy for you to function effectively. In the sense that, as a lion, you must go out and service in your community, which means you must give up your time. Most people who join Lions Club in the US are people who have their own businesses or who are retired people. So they have enough time to serve. There are a lot of people in Africa are working class people. They join the Lions Club. Maybe something carries them. Somebody joins the Lions Club in Lagos and something carries him to Kanu. And he goes to Kanu to do a job and has no Lions Club there. It becomes difficult for him to continue. All right? Secondly, the economy. You see, apart from the local dues we pay, which is affordable, you also pay membership dues to Lions Club International in dollars. And over the years, the exchange rate has been dropping, so that $1 that you used to pay in the past of roughly about maybe 100 naira. Now you pay about 1,300 naira for that $1. So when you look at the dues the person has to pay internationally, some of them find that even if you eat up about maybe 1/4 of their own salary. So because of that, some of them start stepping away. Not that they don't have the interest, but when the economic power is not there to continue, they find it difficult to continue. So what we have tried to do is to try and block, not only blocking the back door, but to try and make sure that those who come into Lions Club are quality people, are people who have time, who have the talent, and who have the resources. Because if you don't, to be factual, if you can't have 3 square meal a day, you have nothing doing in Lions Club. Because you are supposed to go and render service to people who are in need. And if you are in need yourself, then you're not in position to actually render social services to people who are in need. So we're not trying to see that we get a situation where we get people who are I won't say are more than enough for themselves, but at least have enough for themselves to be in a position to render out services to other people. And the other thing is that once you become a Lion, then we try to make your stay in the Lions Club interesting. 1, by attending the conventions. 2, by a lot of trainings. These trainings we take in Lions Club helps you also in your businesses and your place of work, so that you feel that, well, you have not lost anything by being in the club. The NLCF is Nigerian Lions Charity Fund, and it was meant to help with emergencies. It was fashioned towards the LCIF, which is Lions Club International Foundation, which is to help disaster reliefs, to help carry out humanitarian projects. So that's why we set it up in Nigeria. And the essence was that when something happens, we go immediately to intervene. Recently, we've had floods and disasters, and the NLCF had come to aid by donating towards those flood and disasters. The NLCF fund is not meant for just anything. It's meant for emergency issues. During the COVID era, during the COVID, we donated to the Lagos State government and also donated to the federal government towards fighting the AIDS, fighting COVID. We're fighting COVID. So we donated towards those doing it. For now, we are now concentrating on the Lions Eye Hospital in Abuja for 2 reasons. One is that the NLCF fund now could either be specific or general. That's when you are contributing towards it, you can say specifically that you want your money to be used for the eye hospital. So if that is the case, then we use it for the eye hospital. If it's a general funding, then we'll keep it and use it for emergency issues. So now we're concentrating on the eye clinic, eye hospital. Fortunately, we have gotten the land. We have paid for the land. We've got a certificate of occupancy. So we did some fencing around it. Now we are building a structure which we want to use generally for diabetes, for eye screening, for all the activities we want to do there. For the time being, to make the place, to make the place functional, until when we are able to build all the other structures that turn into a full reference eye hospital. Strictly speaking, if government were operating the way it ought to operate, particularly looking at the arms of government, within the communities, the local governments were supposed to assist to get the communities going. But we know the way local governments are funded. Most of them are not properly funded because the federal government has tried to send funds directly to local government, but the states are blocking it and using. So most times the money that is meant for the local government to use in doing things within their area are taken over by the state government to use to do central state projects. So Lions Club goes to most of those communities to render projects. We go to do boreholes in faraway communities that have no water. We go to places where there are health centers and build health centers and clinics. You know, you go to the hospitals where people are supposed to go and take treatment. You help with the treatment activities there. You build diabetic clinics. You help with the eye theaters and so on. So with all those things, like assisting government to do their work. So with the government seeing this type of thing, then we try to collaborate with the government to be sure that, look, we can only do little we can. But if the government collaborate with us, then we'll be able to go further off to make sure that we complete it, do more projects. So clearly speaking, Lions Club complements government in areas that are remote, where government mostly do not reach. As I said earlier on, Lions Club also helped to impact my own leadership skills. I was somebody who could not speak, who could not stand before you and talk. But because of Lions Club, I was exposed to speaking in the public. As I said, I'm an accountant. I was never a teacher. But Lions Club took me to a situation where I now lecture, I now teach in the Lions Club schools, up to the Lions Club International, where I'm a group leader and I train other Lions from other parts of the world. So clearly speaking, it has helped me in my leadership skills, both professionally and in Lions Club, to develop it. So professionally, each time I'm doing my professional jobs, I remember the Lions Code of Ethics, and it guides me in doing my own job and making sure that I succeed in what I'm doing. And those skills, in turn, also help me to make sure that the area of Lionism I'm taking care of, I'm able to move them according to the Lions Club Code of Ethics and Objects. Our youth today, I think the era of social media has made it very difficult for the youth to concentrate on other things. But the Lions Club service and issues of encouraging the youth to come together as service to serve their community, whether physically or on the internet, has helped some of the youths to settle down. So we, as the older Lions, have to learn our educational leadership abilities to assist them to move forward. We have the Leos. Leos are supposed to be the younger ones of the Lions, all right? And the acronym of Leos is clearly shows that it's leadership, experience, and opportunity. So we try to give them that leadership skill that we have, for them to be not only in the Lions Club, but also in their private lives, all right? And then give them the experience that we already acquired that will help them move their leadership skills forward. And then all that requires that is opportunities that are available for them. In most cases, the opportunities are there. These days, opportunities are very much there. When people come out from youth service, they don't have anything to do, they don't have a job, so they have to create things for themselves. Give them the era of creativity, where they create things that keep them going as a young man, as a young woman. Yes, family life is difficult when you are a Lion. So your best bet is to make sure that your family imbibes Lionism. My wife is a Lion. In fact, presently, she's a region chair. 3 of my children are Lions. So once your family members are members of the Lions Club, various areas, they tend to understand when you are doing service. Because otherwise you start wondering, why are you going to assist people outside? We will not see you at home all the time. All right? But when they are part of it, they seem to understand it, and it balances properly well. I always say that we are on this earth for a very short time. Some people can live up to 100. Some go before they are 40. So during that period, we interact with a lot of people. All right? So when God gives you an opportunity to rise, it doesn't give you that, it doesn't mean you should raise your shoulder above other people. So whatever you are, the aura of humility helps you move further. My experience in life has been that no matter what position I've gone into, each time I move, I see everybody within me as my equal. So when you see everybody within you as your equal, you give respect to other people, and people also return respect to you. But when you stay aloof, oh, you are better than this other person, then the tendency is that the person keeps away from you. He feels I'm below his class. And there's nothing we do on earth that we do not learn from each other. No matter how educated you are, no matter how plainly you are, there are people who are not up to your level that will teach you one or two things if you listen to them, if you work with them. And that has been my experience. And I just feel that, well, I'm on this earth as a Lions member to help the less privileged. I have to help the less privileged. That less privileged must start from me. That whatever I am, it's my place to bring others to my level. So what are you for? What is the pride for? What is the raising of shoulders for? You must show humility wherever you are. He who humbles himself goes afar. Let me look back from how we started, from one single district. In fact, not even a district. We are a sub-district. We are like a region to MD 403. Until one day we decided that, I think we went for a convention in Cameroon. I decided that they were conducting that convention in French, and we were English speaking. And we found out no, we can't just go to a convention. We don't even understand what they are saying. We came back and said we must be a district of our own, and formed our district. From that one district, we now have 6 districts. All right. So it's a pride that we have so many districts, and we've been able to move along with whatever we want and get whatever we want. All right. So I think that as Nigeria is today, we are proud that we have developed leaders. HOB, even though it took him a long time, became international director. There are a lot of countries that have not qualified, have not gone to that position of international director. Today, we are preparing for another international director, TNTYTS, to go in for international directorship. We, at our level, we have climbed to all the positions I need to climb. I have been district governor. I have moved from district governor to be trainer. I've climbed all the level of training. I've been an area leader. I've passed area leader, and I've been a group leader. And today we have passed about 2 other past area leaders. TNTYTS was an area leader. Samepuk was an area leader. All right. So we have 3 past area leaders, and we have another current area leader. We also have under the area. We also have under the LCIF area. We also have another area leader under LCIF. We even have the constitutional area leader under LCIF. So a lot of movement, a lot of uprising within the district MD 404 has made us proud. And we think as MD 404, we are supposed to be the largest district in Africa. We are trying to make sure that what India is to Isame, we are going to be that to Africa. And when we get that to Africa, that means that before you say 1 or 2 lions, you must see Nigerians a part of those African lions.